Hi, and welcome back. My name is Antonio Serif from CRRNTN.com. Continuing the series Hollywood movie title, today we realize the animation of Fright Night. The first part will be in Cinema 4D. We will make and animate the letters logo, with dynamic animation of the camera. We will continue in After Effects, the overall composition with red sky, and blood special mask reveal, that characterize this epic animation. Open the file Start, on Cinema. As we can see, I have organized the files in order to be ready to begin the tutorial. We have one layers group. Inside this group, we find the splines that make up the logo. To achieve this, you can use the 2D drawing tools, or work based on the font. In any case, to simplify this step, must be used the last frame of the original video. I have already set the scene with the camera position Z to -1920. But actually, in this project will be used a camera target. I'll show you all the details later. As I said, you can use a font. We are talking about the copperplate Gothic, specifically the bold type. OK, first insert an extrude NURBS with check hierarchical active. This is the impact with the camera view. We have a depth of 90, now we do not place any fillet cap. You'll understand why later. We proceed with the next step, to change the profile of the letters F and T. First we need to divide all the letters, by pressing the C key of the keyboard. After on the letters F and T, we apply the D-instrument bool, using as an object of cut, extruded a quadrilateral, throughout the logo. You see, has this corner, falling down, so. This allows us to adjust the cut that we want. This form, pointed at the bottom of the letter is a characteristic of this logo, very strange, but fascinating creative solution, to remember the stake, to kill the vampire. Cool. Instead, for all the other letters, I applied a fillet cap. With step 5, and radius 2, on start is on end. If you want a profile like the original, the check constraint must be active. View the result. This logo, with these letters long and pointed, has a very sharp effect. OK, we proceed by inserting the lights, but before we save the file with the suffix bevel. You will find the file lights setting in the project folder. In this project, I applied a mix of lights. Why must they use two different colors, red and blue? I set all the display windows, to better understand the positions of the lights in our scene. we have 3 spotlights. One of which, with the shadows maps, is active. And 4 omni lights, 2 of which have the shadows map. The suffix fright and night indicates so fast the lights, where they were set, the exclusion of light of some letters in the panel scenes. In this way, with this technique, it is possible to have a more precise control of the intensity of the colors on the logo letters. Obviously, those without the suffix illumining all. View the result. The result will be complete with the change of document settings panel on the color profile with the material. OK, back in the lights of the scene, follow on video the parameters settings. We don't activate the display scenes panel because you just see if the suffix was added to the layer's light for exclusion. Good vision. Top light. Front. Bottom. The front light layers are equal, they are set with different intensities, with the exclusion alternated. The red light behind gives the color of the logo in the back. And finally a red light omni, just below the logo. OK, here we approximate this value to -235. Very cool. Proceed inserting the materials. For this logo, you must apply a new material chrome, with a texture dirty, and it must have little reflection. I chose to use old chrome. In this case I had to create a larger texture, to cover the letters F and T. You can apply other types of chrome effects that you like. As in the previous tutorial, if you want to get a better result, we have to modify the parameters of the document panel. 80 gray. Disable the linear workflow, and disable the input color profile. OK, great. Now the look is good for me. The lights create a fantastic job of ambient light. OK, proceed with the settings for the animation. Our project has a length of 65 frames. Is very fast. This is the result. The letters that make the word fright, they move with an interpolation of Z position, and H rotation. Between frame 0 and 17. And not all have the same starting value of rotation. While the word night has an interpolation of opacity, with the tag display, between frames 10 and 25. Now I show you why I used the camera target. Given that, the camera has a small sequence of Z position, from frame 17 to frame 65, for the final position. Thanks to the anchor target, which is positioned at center scene. Inserting in the camera, on Y, the value 60, it automatically creates a rotation P, to -1.79 degrees. This slight tilt allows you to have the logo as the original video. Very simple. I show you the aerial view of the whole sequence. OK, follow on video the scheme. During rendering, we must obtain two separate video, to have a precise control, on After Effects of the masks. We have 1920 to 1056. All frames. QuickTime Movie with Alpha Channel. Obviously, anti-aliasing on best. Let go. To rendering. OK, these are rendering to proceed with the work on After Effects. The logo, only with the text Fright. Only with the text night. Finally a video of a red sky in motion. The styling composed is very simple but not trivial. because with a strategic use of reverse masks, you can get interesting effects. We see the interpolation which I applied on the part of the Fright logo. The first effect is the curves, which starts from the frame 1, with the graph of default. In frame 9 is changed with this form. At the same time in this frame, I applied an interpolation on opacity, of layer style, color overlay, with value 100. I show you better. The curves parameter remains unchanged up to the frames 12, while the opacity of the red color goes from 100 to 77. Finally, in frame 15, we have the value 0, so that it reveals the original color of the logo. While the shape of the curves is reset with the original form, in the frame 22. To improve this step, dark red, I added an effect of exposure, where, with interpolation from frame 11, I set the gamma to 1, and 1.5. In frame 14, is changed only the gamma value, to 0.5. Finally, in frame 17, have default values. The use of these effects allows to obtain incredible results with few steps. In this case we also applied an effect of change color interpolation. Very nice. To make the layer more brilliant, I added a levels, with input black, 30. Gamma, 1.6. For the layer night, I applied a mask for the revelation. Reverse, with a duplicate layer. I make you see better. Luma inverted. And Luma matte. For the body layer, I repeated the same steps of the layer Fright. To have a similar basis. While for the blood mask, I have used a simple interpolation on opacity, between 10 and 25. As a layer mask, I applied a fractal noise. Dynamic type, soft linear, with contrast at 200. Its complete movement, this is it. We have an offset evolution to obtain a vertical motion. An evolution of 3 full turns, distributed, on 65 frames. Finally, very important, for the mask, in frame 18, I activated brightness, to -50. To be totally white, with value 144, in frame 52. This will allow us to have a fade masked interesting on the surface of the logo. Very nice. To improve the final impact, I applied a layer precompose, with the glow effect. I got a duplicate of Fright and Night layers of the logo. On both we have an opacity interpolation, from 0 to 100, from frame 13 to frame 17. As we can see, I have maintained the layer style with the red color. Very important for the layer Fright, I applied a bright red color. While for layers Night, a dark red, with these parameters, 118. 1. 0. This will give us a very intense color. In addition to the glow effect, we have a levels, with input white 175, gamma 1.7, and white output to 191. This is its function. For the glow, I modified the threshold at 50, radius 150, and intensity at 0.5. Very epic Dracula. Obviously, to have these intense colors should be in overlay mode. The icon adjustment layers is active in behind it. Okay, done this, insert the audio file. Make sure that we have done all the steps, and proceed to the final rendering. This is the result of the project. Wow! Very, very nice. Okay, I remind you the next appointment for the tutorial on the movie title Real Steel. Another hard impact animation. I hope this tutorial has been to your liking. By Antonio Serif from CRRNTN.com. Cheers.